Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Sophie Jordan Collins and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings and Sophie Jordan Collins.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable After Dark show. I'm your co-host, Sophie Jordan Collins, along with Ted Ings, and we have four very special guests live with us today.
That's right, Sophie. We have some captains of industry with us tonight. More about that in a moment. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're very grateful to everyone who's here with us tonight on the show, watching, and also, of course, to our exclusive sponsor for all the After Dark shows. It is BG Products, Partners Beyond Products, and we're very grateful to them. Bob Tasker is part of that team as well, and BG Products for all that they do with the Fixed Ops Roundtable. So a lot of stuff coming up. Sophie, I came dressed tonight in costume for the Avengers event.
You did. You went all out with a headband, Ted.
All right. So tell us about that. Wait, you got the gloves, right? You got the whole thing.
I do, yes. I even have a mask. I didn't want to scare anybody away, but maybe later at some point we'll get wild with a mask. But yeah, y'all, we are less than a month away from our Automotive Avengers event. It's November 13th through 16th, and it is going to be so much fun. We have incredible guests lined up. You guys do not want to miss this event.
Yep, one of them is with us here tonight, Julie Douglas, and we'll be introducing her in just a few moments. Before we do, want to call everybody's attention that earlier today, Michelle McLean, welcome. Thank you for all you do for our industry. We had the big Fixed Ops Roundtable pop-up event just a few hours ago at Northwood University in Midland, Michigan. Sophie, you were there. Roger, good evening from Houston. Thank you so much for all you do. And we had a very impressive cast there with us. And Sophie, you were a big part of that with everything that happened there with the Women's Roundtable. And Sophie, you're there with all the students.
Yes, it was so incredible. They have a completely student-run auto show there. They have their automotive marketing major. So it was so incredible getting to speak with the students that are studying the automotive industry. It was really exciting and inspiring.
And I think the students were the highlight of the whole event. There we are opening the event. Sophie on the left, Sarah Van Tyne on the right, Mike Stoll from CDK Global, Cole Briggs, who is the chair of the auto show, a student that just graduated, and LG, also from Northwood, a great team there. We interviewed a lot of folks, including this gentleman, Brian McDonald, the CEO and president of CDK Global, with Sarah and I. And Brian was on the show today, broadcast from Northwood, and he told us, Sophie, that 2.6% of the United States gross domestic product, the GDP, flows through CDK Global Systems every month. And he had to repeat that for me. I said, run that by us again. He said 2.6% of the U.S. GDP is on CDK Global, including 53 to 55% of all repair orders in North America, and 52% of all cars sold are sold on CDK Global. So that was a very interesting interview that Brian did with us. We had all the CEOs. We had Reynolds and Reynolds. We had Cox Automotive there. We had some great partners for the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Here is Jen Cole, Senior Vice President of CDK Global, and Mike Stoll. We also had Zach Fox from BG Products with us for the show as well. And Sophie, these were the highlights. These were the students. Just tell us about that for a moment, because you had 3 different panels with Northwood students.
Yes, we got to speak to the students about what their plans were after college. And it's just so exciting to see that they're not waiting until they graduate to start getting involved in the automotive industry. They're doing the thing right now. And it was really, really incredible to see that.
Yeah, so I thought that you and Sarah did a great job. And again, they are the highlight. And good evening, Sean Kingery and Jeremy Stevens. So with us tonight are all the leaders of convenient brands. And Julie Douglas is no stranger to the roundtable from her company, DealerPay, a great fan favorite. So Julie, I'll let you do the honors and the introductions tonight. And Julie, welcome back to the After Dark show.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Sophie. So we have the CEO of Convenient Brands, Casey. We have the Vice President of Main Street Auto Glass, Mark. And then we also have the President of Rome, James, with us tonight.
Yep. And, this month, I got it in the mail yesterday. I got my copy of Fixed Ops magazine. And who do I see there on the cover but Mark Haeck? So congratulations, Mark. That's a very coveted spot, Mark.
I've had many comments already.
Sure. All right. Well, good. Excellent. So Ron of the Fixed Ops Roundtable. So, Julie, you've got a great company in DealerPay. What brought you to Convenient Brands?
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. DealerPay was, basically founded by myself, and, through a lot of different, wins, there were losses, and I was looking for an opportunity to really take it to the next level. And I knew I needed some help to do it. So this took place around August of last year. It's been over a year now. So I'm a part of this amazing group, and it's really helped leverage DealerPay in areas where possibly I couldn't do on my own. So this is a really great opportunity for all of the brands within the Convenient Brands, because we're all really dedicated to the same audience, and it just makes it a really powerful group, because we all have the same mentality for winning and making our products and services the best they can be for our dealership audiences. And though we're a little bit different in the exact products that we're providing, we all, again, have the same goal in mind. So it makes it very, very rewarding for everybody that's a part of the group.
Julie, thank you. And Casey, congratulations to you and all that you and Convenient Brands are doing. It seems to me that you've brought together a whole portfolio of technology companies, and they're all strategically positioned to address different challenges in fixed ops.
Yeah, thanks, Ted. We certainly got lucky, I would say. In the merger and acquisition space, you never know what you're going to get. And the way that these companies have come together and just the people behind them has been an incredible find for us. I mean, in no way, shape, or form could I have thought that when we started this journey 5 years ago that we would be where we're at today. And just being able to find quality companies that, like Julie mentioned, give a crap. They care about their clients, and they listen to them, and they provide a great service and a wonderful product for all of their merchants.
Wow. So congratulations to you on putting that all together. And a little background, of course, from Julie, with her company, the integrated payments at DealerPay, a number of Fixed Ops Roundtable dealers and dealer groups work with Julie today. And she burst onto the scene about just under 2 years ago. James, tell us a little bit about your company and what you're doing there in the collision space, because I understand that's very interesting.
Yeah, we started in 1988 with my father, Scott. He actually, once we joined up with Convenient Brands, he retired about 2 years ago. And our focus and our passion has been helping body shops run more efficiently and more profitably. And typically in the dealer world, it's normally the redheaded stepchild of the dealer. It's always near a train track next to a graveyard. And most people don't give it the love and attention it needs. And that's my job.
Well, you're right. You're so right. Julie, I see our good friend Sean Kingery is on tonight, and we wish him well. You were at the pop-up recently in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yes.
And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Sean is just recovering now from open heart surgery. He had it seems like 3 weeks ago, Sophie. It just happened, but he's doing remarkably well. And I think he could wear the Superman outfit, Sophie, on this show. What do you think?
Absolutely. Well deserved.
Yeah, I would say so. So, James, you're right. Okay, in terms of the body shop business, and we have a lot of folks involved in body shop on the Fixed Ops Roundtable. But you're right. It's not every dealership has a collision center, and there's a lot of nuances there. Yet it makes a big difference, James, in the bottom line for dealerships who have one.
Absolutely. It could be the difference between getting 100% absorption or not. And pound for pound, it's actually the most profitable department if run correctly. And I think the problem is most shops aren't. So normally it's costing you money than helping you, which is normally what I hear, especially when I go to trade shows of, they don't understand it and they just kind of they kind of put up with it as a headache, kind of a convenience to the dealer when like a new car gets pulled in. They want someone to kind of take out a few dents to put it on the front line.
So, James, what exactly does your company do in this space? Give us a little.
We actually provide a shop management system that's actually coupled with ongoing education of best practices. So that means not only do we give them the tool to really operate their business, but then we give them, how should you be operating your business too? So it's not just, hey, here's a hammer and good luck. We actually give them the blueprint to make the house as well. So it's been really exciting working with mainly dealers. We do work with independent shops as well, but after 35 years, we have a lot of friends, and essentially we've taken our top operators and said, hey, how did you guys achieve the best numbers in the industry? And then my job is to pass that along to the next guy.
So, Casey, how do you find a company like James's company? How does that come about, and how do you end up bringing him in?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have a wonderful private equity firm. About 5 years ago, I was working for a company that wanted to sell their software, and I was part of that ride. And we found the Beekman Group out of New York, and part of that strategy was I said, hey, let's build up a business and try to do some merger and acquisitions and get some companies that we could really have some growth with. And they went out and found some wonderful prospects. We interviewed them, and in fact, with Main Street and DealerPay, I flew out there and we met with the people, and it just felt good. Brad Rhodes, our president, was involved with Rome, and he was more on taking care of that side. But we were able to find some good people that were looking to sell. And like James mentioned, his dad, Scott, was looking to retire and get out of the business, and we were lucky enough to come along. And I think it was a good mutual relationship that we saw, hey, we can take the business and continue to grow, even though Scott stepped down. And James is a great leader, has so much potential to drive business, great sales guy, great business leader. And we just saw that, hey, we can grow with that. And that included all of our brands. Seemed like the presidents that we were able to meet with were just great people that could take the business to the next level if we provided a little bit of help for them.
So, Casey, I remember the phone call I had with Julie Douglas. Julie, I don't remember if it was a year ago, but it was a little while back, but you had already been on the roundtable. And Casey, she gave me the news about convenient brands. And I, at that time, had just started to hear about them. But it seems to me that Julie is still running the show because she's the sales lady extraordinaire, as you all can see. And I don't think there's any substitute for Julie. I don't think anyone else can do it nearly as well.
Ted, I just stay out of the way. She knows what she's doing, and she's the sales lady extraordinaire. So, that's what our management style is we're not coming in and trying to tell them what to do. The people that run our partner brands, they know how to run their business. James knows what he's doing. Mark's been in the business for many, many years. And Julie, I just come in and say, what can we do to help? And we provide a support group behind them with sales and marketing and accounting. But really, we just let them take the ball and run with it. And that's been a wonderful philosophy because these guys know what they're doing.
And Julie, every time I see you and your company on social media, you're growing. I mean, I see you in dealerships. You're out showing how it works, demonstrating how you install, how you support, how you implement. And Julie, I see you constantly adding people. We just had Travis on the roundtable with you. And Casey, I was impressed because she brought the president of the Wisconsin Auto Dealers and Truck Dealers Association to the roundtable, Bill Sepik, if I'm saying his last name right, Julie. And Julie, that was a marvelous conversation we had in person there in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I've had tremendous luck having relationships with state associations because, these guys, they want the best for their dealers. And what's great is they actually vet vendors like myself and Rome and Main Street to make sure they're providing the best company to them. But, like Bill said, it's all about relationships. So, we have currently 8 endorsements, and we're working on a few more that I think we're going to get before the end of this year. But that's been one of the strategies. And, I don't even really call it a strategy. It's it's almost like a little family, I guess. You know, it's a really great opportunity to have those kinds of relationships. So.
And Julie, I told you offline maybe a few days ago or a week ago that we have another a state dealer association president coming on that I'm going to make the introduction to you with. So I think that would be a perfect fit. And Bill is, you know, they're all on board with you and your what you do for their dealers. Mark, okay, so a lot of dealerships don't take advantage of the opportunity with what the company is, like you are pretty much coming in and putting them in the glass business. Tell us about what you do and how it works.
Yeah, so Main Street's been a technology company we're in our 42nd year. Been doing glass for most of that time, about 39 of it. And quickly, I walked around a dealership one day and saw cracked glass and chipped glass. And then I saw techs standing around in the service area. And the light just kind of clicked, hey, there's something we ought to start going after. And so we've been reaching out to dealerships. We have dealerships. We've always had dealerships. But the opportunity is great to bring it in-house with the liability today, with the technology related to glass on a vehicle, the need for calibration. It's just, and the dollars are increasing. A job that used to be $260 now, we're seeing $700, $800, $900, $1,200 for the complete glass job. So why not bring it in-house and also ensure customer satisfaction? And
now,
so
Mark,
we're encouraging people that way.
Do you actually do the work at the dealership? I mean, how does it work? Or do they go to the customer or a combination of? Or?
We provide the software for it so they can look up the specific glass parts that are needed, invoice. But then we also provide insurance billing. So when your customer comes through and they got a broken windshield, instead of going somewhere else, bring it to the dealership, and then we can help them get it processed to get payment from the insurance company.
And I would imagine, Mark, the insurance company is a big part of the equation, right?
It's a huge part of the equation.
Wow. What about safety involved of, you know, having the proper glass replacement and having the repair done right? I would imagine that's another thing that's paramount.
It definitely is. The structural integrity of a vehicle tied to the windshield today is much more critical than ever. So the need for it to be done right. You know, a lot of dealerships have outsourced, and many still do. I realize that, but there's still a liability when you outsource that to somebody else that comes back to the dealership. So making sure it's done right in the process, keeping all the profits, it's kind of a win-win, I think, for the dealership.
Yep, I like it. Casey, it would seem that some of these solutions are, I mean, these are not rocket science. These are common sense things that dealerships need today, but you've kind of put them all together with this technology.
Yeah. I think Julie mentioned it the best at the beginning is, good people. And I saw Michelle, she's been putting some comments on the screen. You know, you put good people together and you let them fly and good things going to happen. And we were able to find a lot of great software companies that had great leadership and great ideas for the future. And I've just been, blessed. And so it's just been a fun ride for me. And we're looking to bring some more on here in the next, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have one other company bringing on board. So we just keep going and finding these wonderful companies out there and bringing them together under our umbrella, because, the goal is like, if you like working with Julie, you'll like working with Scott, you'll like working with Mark. And so, there's the whole bundle opportunity to work with each one of us. And I just, you like to work with people that you like. And that's what makes my job good.
I see the comment from Sean Kingery in there, Sophie, that there's a lot of profit in glass. So, Mark, I would imagine you actually help the dealer. This becomes like a new profit center for them if they do it.
It does.
The right way.
Exactly.
Wow.
We'll even help them get training, get their techs trained if they need training. We've got connections in the industry for suppliers, for training, the whole thing, insurance billing. We can help them get signed up and rolling.
Before I come back to James, Michelle has a pretty good question in there.
That is a great question.
Go ahead, Casey. I'll let you tackle that. What kind of companies are you looking to bring in?
software companies in the automotive space. We've would love to bring them in. Anyone that may need additional capital, people that want to grow, people that want to join our team and be a part of Convenient Brands. But specifically, it's software companies in the automotive space that are looking to grow. We'd love to talk to those.
And you know what? There's a growing focus now on fixed ops. It would seem to me that here we are in the middle of October, that there's going to be an even bigger impact that fixed ops is going to make on the bottom line of a dealership. And James, do you encounter any resistance with your product, or once you show them how it works, are they on board? How does a dealer go about getting, or how does somebody go about getting your service and product in there?
Well, what happens normally is that draws a lot of dealers my way is I actually integrate with every major DMS. That's including CDK, Reynolds, Techion. I mean, you name it, I have it. And one of the major stumbling blocks for dealer collision is that you have a billing system, which is your estimating product, typically CCC1, Mitchell, or Autotex. And then you have your accounting system, right? And 9 times out of 10, those two don't talk to each other. So every dealer body shop's doing twice the work as an independent because they don't have an integrated system. So they have to write an estimate, create an RO, put parts on it, put labor on it. And then you have to balance a ticket, which is you have an estimate, which is an estimated part price. And you have the vendor list. You have to match it. And it takes an hour to close a file. So all of a sudden, I'm giving them 30 to 40% of their time back, or even, some people just have an office manager in the body shop dedicated to admin administration duties, right? So my goal is to come in and eliminate non-revenue producing activities. And when I show them what that looks like, it's a little jarring because essentially they've only known one way their entire career, how to run their shop in a dealer. And I kind of flip it on its head on, you don't need to do all this extra work anymore.
Jim Sabino in the comments, I would imagine at your group in New Jersey, All American Automotive Group, I believe you have a collision center, Jim, if you want to confirm that. Would it be correct to say that, James, that collision and body, that business is ripe right now for disruption and for new ideas and new technology and new processes?
Absolutely. Severity is going up to almost over 4,000 now with calibrations for ADAS. So that's an easy way to capitalize on it. Typically before COVID, you're looking at about 2,000 to 2,500 a ticket, and you're looking to gross about 45% on every job you touch. And what's incredible about the body shop business in general is you can run a thriving business and spend $0 on marketing, which in the dealer world, some people spend 6 figures a month on marketing. So when you have something that can just bring work to your door, which is the arms of the insurance carriers in a lot of cases, it becomes a profit center. It really does.
So James, when you just said ADAS, my antenna went up, because I would imagine now that every new vehicle built in the last 7-8 years, maybe a little bit more, has this advanced driver assistance technology in there. So when a vehicle is involved in a collision and that vehicle has to be repaired, somebody has to professionally make sure that all those sensors are back in order, that the lights will go on the mirrors on the side of my car. Tell us about that, because I see that now. I'm hearing more and more about wanting to be able to do that, and they need to do that correctly.
For sure. I mean, it's in the OE position statement to scan the car. Even if it's a minor scratch on something, you got to scan the vehicle. There's a pre-scan and a post-scan, so it's diagging the vehicle to see all your modules are working. And we all know cars aren't getting dumber, right? And with the introduction of EV, what will probably end up happening is obviously service departments are going to work differently, right? You don't have to do oil changes in some of these, EV cars. So now it's going to be, hey, you got to come back in 6 months and get this calibrated, right? To make sure your auto drive is working, to make sure your auto park is working. So you're in a car physically not driving it, and all these things need to be properly working. So I feel like the industry is going to go that way in the future, obviously, when we have more of that technology come out. But if you have a vehicle that's older than 2000 or newer than 2015, about 75% of the time, you're going to need a calibration, which is $400, right? I mean, it's pretty incredible.
So Sean Kingery, I didn't realize you have 4 collision centers. So James, you wouldn't mind going to Sean's stores. Sean is in Wisconsin.
Gotta wait till summer then, I guess. No, I'm just kidding.
Sean, James is in northwestern Pennsylvania. So not all that different, in terms of climate that we're going into right now. So
okay, fantastic.
A great contact there. And again, that's the stores that Julie was just at. Of course, Julie, you and I were there in August, and the weather seemed pretty placid right then. It was pretty nice.
It was pretty nice. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Man, so a lot going on, Casey, in this space. This is fascinating. And
think about this, Ted. Sorry, I just something come across my mind. That James was talking about is you got the big push for the EV, but you're still going to have collision repair fixes. You're still going to have a windshield on that EV, and you got to take payments from your customers when they come in and get that car fixed. And so, from a strategic standpoint, I'm super excited about how we're set up to, even though the industry may take a shift towards the EV program right now, knock on wood, Convenient Brands is looking to help these dealers with the ancillary parts that they definitely need for the future.
Stephen Apicella, a great comment you're making, very timely in the chat. And I agree with you, as well as doing all that and bringing the right people and the right vision and the right execution and bringing that all together. Real quick, before we do the trivia, we got some trivia tonight, just for a moment. Jim Sabino, who was in the chat just a few moments ago, and I were talking about the UAW strike and all things that are happening there as well. And it would appear that that's not going to be settled tonight. That might go on for a little bit. There's a lot of focus right now on fixed ops and making sure that that we get it right and that we've got everything we need to be able to carry out our business for our customers. I don't know if anyone wants to speak to that, but it would seem that you're all in a very timely space right now with what's happening throughout the industry, and especially on the new car side with inventories and interest rates and things like that, Casey. So
yep,
right.
I would agree.
All right.
Definitely.
So if you're ready for some trivia,
Okay.
Avengers trivia, audience, you can chime in if you would like as well. Sophie, let's just take it away.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
So the first question is, what kind of doctor is Doctor Strange? A, a rocket scientist, B, a neurosurgeon, or C, a psychiatrist?
B.
B.
Oh, that was fast. Okay, I'll give you guys a second in the chat really quick.
How do we have such Avenger aficionados tonight? Who know?
No.
And I'm assuming that would be the right answer, but I guess rocket scientist A was what I was going to pick. Probably not. So
Jeremy in the chat also says B, and you guys are all correct. The answer is
Yay.
B.
all right, on to the next one. We can go on.
Question 2. Thor's age is alluded to in Avengers Infinity War. How old is he purported to be? A, 1200, B, 1500, or C, 1000?
And these are years, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, Michelle.
That was a good question, Ted.
I'll say B.
B.
We're on the B train today, huh?
B. Yeah.
And you guys are correct again. It is B.
All right, pretty good.
It's kind of how I did my tests in high school.
Two for two.
Letter. Question
We'll see if it holds up.
Rocket's name was inspired by a hit song from which of these musical artists? A, Elton John, B, The Jets, or C, The Beatles?
Oh, sure.
B.
C.
Rocket's name, huh?
Oh, Tim in the chat says A. Letters going on.
I always thought Rocket saw a rocket, and that's where his name came from, right? From the last one that we watched, Guardians of the Galaxy. But I don't know.
Stephen Apicella, what do you say? All right. What is it, Sophie?
It's C.
Whoa.
Oh, it's the Beatles.
He's on it.
No B right down the column anymore.
All right. Now, normally, Sophie, you give us 5 questions. Tonight, you have 6 questions. What was the thinking by doing the 6th one?
Michelle was inspiring me because she's an Avengers girl and she was helping me out with these questions. So,
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
question
I know.
4. Which U.S. city is Captain America from? A, Chicago, B, Los Angeles, or C, Brooklyn?
C.
Brooklyn.
Oh, that was a quick one there.
That's a
C.
He's walking here.
good. I could do this all day.
That's how we say it.
That's right.
You guys are correct. It is C.
Sophie, are we allowed to dress up for the Avengers event?
Not only are you allowed, you are encouraged. You are encouraged.
Because I saw that Julie Douglas posted a few weeks back. There was her in like a Superwoman outfit.
Really?
It's because
Julie
we
didn't dress
saved
up?
the day.
Did you all see her back for the 80s? She was rocking it out. She had the guitar going, and
That's because I'm married to a musician, but
that was quite a performance she did.
What is Black Widow's sister's name? A. Elena, B. Margie, or C. Ashley?
And you were just Black Widow on the show here just like a week ago. So.
I was.
I'm going to go with A.
I think it's Elaine. Yeah, A.
not sure.
And you are correct. It is A.
This group is really good. We haven't had this kind of response in a long time.
I know.
You know, because we got CEOs here. We got top.
It pays to have grandkids who watch this.
Yeah, no, I love Avengers. Yeah, that's right.
Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel, made his final cameo in which Avengers movie? A. Endgame, B. Infinity War, or C. Age of Ultron?
Had to be A, right?
I just saw this on the news like a year or two ago. I don't know.
I'll go with A.
I'm going to stick with A because it was the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys are right. A.
Wait.
Endgame.
Wait.
Wow.
I'm looking at the comment from Stephen Apicella in the chat. So, all right. Hey, great job, guys. That was strategic thinking.
Yes.
By the way, Stephen Apicella with Strategic DX. That's another amazing company in the technology space. I don't know if you know, Julie, but Leloux over with Tully, they've got Stephen Apicella's platform in their stores as well. So they've done a whole lot of bringing, F&I and fixed ops, bringing it all together. So pretty innovative stuff he's doing. So, all right, everybody. So we're going to be back on Monday night. I want to thank everybody for joining us here this evening. An amazing crew, all part of the Convenient Brand team. Julie Douglas, Mark Haeck, James Rome, Casey, of course, leading the way on Convenient Brands. Thank you. And congratulations to all of you on the success that you're having. And Mark, I'll continue to read all that about you on Fixed Ops Magazine.
Very good. Thank you.
He's the new face of Convenient Brands.
I know.
That's scary.
And Mark, that has an amazing shelf life, that magazine, too. It's in every U.S. dealership. So
Nice.
It'll be there for years.
all right, we'll be back on Monday night, everybody. We're going to be having some of the students from Northwood University on with us. Sophie, one more time. When is Jessica? I agree. They did a great job. When is the next Avengers show coming up, Fixed Ops Roundtable?
November 13th through 16th. And you can get your complimentary tickets at fixedopsroundtable.com.
Yeah, it's a 4-day event, everybody. And you've got the best in automotive and retail and an amazing lineup for this 4-day show. So you do not want to miss it. You don't have to go far. You don't have to travel. It's right on your desktop. And you got the best there. So, Julie, we look forward to seeing you there as well. And and all the Convenient Brands shortly thereafter. So we appreciate all you do. Everybody, on behalf of Convenient Brands and Sophie Jordan Collins and myself, Ted Ings, thank you so much. And we'll see you all next week on Monday night.
Thank you.
Thank you.